In the Mouth of Madness is the final installment in what John Carpenter calls his Apocalypse Trilogy. Released in 1995, this stars Sam Neill, and it's the story of an insurance agent who's hired by a publishing firm to investigate the disappearance of an incredibly successful author of horror stories. We start at a mental asylum into which Neill is thrown, and we trace back how this all came to be. Mr. Trent, played by Sam Neill, reads through all of the author's published work to get an idea of any clues he may have left behind as to where he disappeared. It brings him to a strange ghost town, and from there on, weird stuff happens throughout the entirety of the film. We see crazy townspeople, deformed bikers, and creepy creatures in the dark. Mr. Trent is a big believer in reality, and the overall message of the film is reality only is what we interpret it to be. This, however, marks one of Carpenter's films that aren't on par with his other work, and I mainly think that's because he didn't write it. The script was written by Michael DeLuca, and it's way too convoluted for even Carpenter to pull off a film much better than this. There's some decent but vague philosophical ideas in this film, but they're never fully explored. Also, the characters are not very well written and have little personality. Sam Neill does his best to put forth a good performance, but with Mr. Trent not being a really compelling character, it just falls flat. Also, there's a series of twists at the end that are untraceable and just make the film confusing for the sake of being confusing. Overall, In the Mouth of Madness is not a strong entry in Carpenter's filmography, although I primarily put that blame on the script as it was nothing Carpenter could control. Seriously, it was written by the guy who wrote the original Judge Dredd. Ugh. At its best, it can be admired for having a tense feeling throughout and creepy atmosphere, but this one may have you question if the film is a reality or just a figment of Sam Neill's imagination. You can skip it.